me know if you're out there. Say hello. I'm starting on time, but I should have done a speed test first to make sure everything is all good. Hey, Desiree. Hey, Marvel. It's a little slow today. Make sure all my shit's turned off. Who else is out there today? Who else is out there? Hey, H. Hey, Joyce. I'm on time. I guess people aren't used to me being on time. If I come on at 5:10, I have way more people. Hey, Shantae. Hey, Pam. H says those Biden comments were a trip. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. Hey, Calistine. Hey, Peppies. Hey, Pamplin. Back from hand surgery. Missed you. I'm glad that your hand surgery, I assume, went well, right? Hopefully you're recovering well from that. It's so stressful, I'd imagine. Dealing with that right now. There's a big lag on my camera. I don't know what's going on. But let me close out some other stuff. Maybe that will help. Hey, Latrice. Hey, Jason. Next Day. Corn. LL. Michael. Yolanda. Jackie. Jazz. Carol. Patrick. My bonus dad is on. Hey. Hey, Ken. S. Denise. Linda. Elizabeth. Okay, let me get started. Sarah Cooper is with Kamala at 6 p.m. Eastern on Instagram. I cannot wait. I definitely will be off long before then because I'm trying to see two of my favorite people on the internets. Golda says she couldn't get in on Twitter. I don't think I'm having a problem. Other people are on from Periscope. Listen, there's a bad thunderstorm out here, so if my power go out, I'm not coming back to you. Just know that I'm okay, but I ain't got time to be dealing with these power shutoffs. It actually shut off earlier, and I was like, I might just cancel it for today. But then I saw that Biden comment, and so I said, no, let me go ahead and hop on here and say what I got to say, chill. Hey, Robin. Hey, Shantae. Pam has a link. She said this is a must-watch clip. Kamala's at a hearing today questioning DOJ wimp regarding deploying federal troops to Portland and D.C. Okay, so y'all check out that comment on Facebook. I'm going to share it on Periscope, and I'm going to share it on YouTube, so you can bookmark that. Hey, Queen. Hey, Jennifer. Derek is consistent. Hey, Reese Receipts. Hey, Mara. So, okay, so let's talk about, okay, so this is what I plan on discussing today. Whatever you want to talk about in addition to this Trump pivot, which is ridiculous. And I want to talk about Joe Biden's comments. Y'all know I'm unbossed and unfiltered. So, some people don't like you saying nothing about nobody. That's fine. This ain't the live for you, Jill, because I'm going to keep it real all the time. But, yeah, so those are the main topics for today. But please comment whatever random stuff you want to talk about, and I'll incorporate your comments into what I respond to as I get to other things. So first things first, let's talk about this so-called Trump pivot. It's really annoying as fuck how the media likes to frame anytime Trump comes out there and he's not this inflammatory, frothing at the mouth moron who is saying all kind of crazy, wild shit, and he can actually like read off a cue card. They try to make it seem like he is pivoting. Oh, new tone. This new tone. Okay. Well, the new tone is not in rhetoric. The new tone is in receipts. And to me, what I want to see in terms of a new tone is I want to see the testing increase. I want to see the PPE get to the places that need it. I want to see an actual robust federal response to this whole ass pandemic that we have going on. That is what I would call a pivot. Talking don't mean shit. He's still sitting up there being racist, and his government is out of fucking control. The authoritarianism that we're seeing out of this Trump administration is completely, literally, it's fucking insane. I'm sorry, but when you have the federal police, which is this is what we now have. We now have federal police through Chad Wolf, who thinks, like I said, he's in some fucking Sicario movie, gassing white women, the Portland moms. If they will do that to white women, what you think they'll do to the rest of us? Just marinate that on a minute. If they'll sit up there and they'll see a bunch of white women chain linked together, not, arm chain linked together, being peaceful with their nice little coordinated shirts on, and they'll gas them, then what the hell you think that they will do to us? What do you think that they've been doing to us? This comes as a great surprise to some people. I saw somebody tweet, oh, we have a secret police now. Y'all ain't know that? We been had the shit. They just been terrorizing black and brown communities this entire time. Now the shit's out in the open a little bit more. I saw Kamala Harris today. She's in the Homeland and Government Affairs Committee. There's an S on the end of that. Homeland and Government Affairs something. But she's in that committee, and she called for them to immediately take the people out of Portland. I saw that I believe the mayor has gotten rid of them. They're in court. So there's a lot of challenges going on right now to try to get these federal police, the Trump police, out of these cities who are unconstitutionally wielding their power, violating the Constitution. So the media, you're fucking up when you focus on tone and you don't focus on the actual actions that this Trump administration is taking. It's pathetic, but they're so desperate to have this pivot. They're so desperate to have this narrative. I said it. They love to rehabilitate the image of a white man, yes. And it's a bonus point if it's a Republican. They love a redemption story. But only if you're white. Let's see. I'm going to go back to some comments. Hey, Susan. Hey, Kenny. Latrice says, I'm so tired before the election. Biden, DOJ. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hey, Faria. Hey, Matt. Robin says, I want to let people know a couple of thousand people we reported in Twitter have been removed. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, Robin does security. She's amazing. If you see Robin on Twitter and she's like, trying to put you up on game about security, you definitely got to see what she's talking about because she knows her stuff. But yeah, there are a bunch of these QAnon accounts that have been taken off of Twitter. And the TAnon people are crazy. Okay, they are really, really crazy. And they generate a lot of this bullshit that we see that we get shared, around Twitter, around social media. Let me see. D33 says, why people try to give Trump flowers and cheers for doing normal shit. The bar is so low for him. It's so low. It's so low. Black woman has to move heaven and earth just to get a little bite off the cookie. You're not even gonna get the whole cookie, Jed. They'll just be like, here, just that's it. That's how you get this much of a cookie. But this motherfucker get up there and like I said, he doesn't froth at the mouth. And they're like, oh my God, pivot, this is the new tone. Hey, Deborah. SoCal in the house. Mel says his only pivot is to a golf course so he can avoid doing any actual work. And I don't know, like I be torn sometimes between being happy this motherfucker ain't working because everything he's about is destruction, or being happy that he are feeling like, well, we need somebody to do the job. But either way, I just there's no winning with Trump. Hey, Chris. Queen says, can we talk about the disrespect of black women from Kanye West to Drea Michelle? What happened with Drea? I didn't see anything about Drea. Kanye, I don't want to talk about Kanye. I just don't. I really don't. I've said what I had to say about him. I'm sorry. Our media is trash. That's what Elizabeth says. Yep. Trump is trash, period. Pam says it ain't a pivot. Denise says the fool is reading prepared remarks from a teleprompter. It's not coming from his empty head or heart. That just trips me out how people get so excited over something that's prepared. Like, can he read? He's supposed to be literate, right? The motherfucker's president. He's supposed to be able to read, right? Like I said it in regards to Miss Millie. I say it in regards to Trump. Y'all too fucking easily impressed for my taste. I'm not easily impressed like other people are. I'm Black Woman Views Media now. Black Woman Views Media ain't like the other media because Black Woman Views Media don't get impressed over stupid basic ass shit like reading off a motherfucking teleprompter. What new tone lies ahead? Dead bodies, exactly. The body count is raising, the infection rate is raising. Nobody seems to care. Did y'all see that completely alarming report? And I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but out of Texas, I think I want to say 400 children since March have been diagnosed with coronavirus, yet the state is only reporting 100 or so. What the fuck? Nobody's alarmed by that? Come on. Aaron, ain't nothing new with the current occupant, period. Exactly. Jazz says, Ashante says the media's full of shit. Jazz says his new tone is to send trips to predominantly black communities, cities. Oh, true. I think you mean troops. Yeah. I remember when Dana from CNN said he was so presidential. Like, girl, please. Fascism. That's what Mel says. Yes. Lying like crazy about the coronavirus. Yeah. He said that he was never against masks. So y'all calling this motherfucker a pivot and tone. He's still lying. So y'all not gonna point out that he lying. I know Roland Martin pointed it out. Where the rest of y'all motherfuckers doing? Your jobs at? Mel says Portland now, your neighborhood next. I know, it's crazy. The state and local offices got enough shit to do, but now they got to sit up there and deal with the federal people trying to come over. The federal motherfuckers don't want to come over and take over in terms of providing testing, in terms of providing PPE, in terms of providing resources to help combat coronavirus, but you motherfuckers want to come over and have basically fascism on our streets. That's backwards. Linda says his tone was a lot of people are going to die and he isn't going to do anything about it. I know that. Have you guys noticed that the Republicans are kind of like, their messaging now is like, well, people are going to get it, get over it. Best of luck, bitches. Let's see. Daniel says, very annoying. Trump can kiss my ass. Why doesn't that whisker biscuit orange candy ass have COVID-19? Referring to Trump. That's a good question. I'm trying to figure out what kind of treatment they have. They need to go ahead and give it to the rest of us. Because everybody getting COVID around him, but ain't nobody sitting up here getting, the same impact as it's had on others. Patrick says the media has made millions, if not billions, since Trump announced his candidacy. They love him because he's made them rich. Absolutely. C. Mary. Hey, C. Mary. Talking about tone is Van Jones. Van Jonesism. Oh, my God. I thought cosmetics were bad. Applauding a known white supremacist liar's tone is the epitome of cosmetic, right? Well, they love cosmetics. Again, when white is right. I've been telling y'all that. Mara said they let all those white children die at Sandy Hook with no change. What they do now doesn't surprise me. I know. That is so true. That is so true. Robin says Cash App Until Freedom. That's Tamika Mallory's, I believe, organization that is fighting for Breonna Taylor down in Kentucky. They still need to arrest the motherfuckers that murdered Breonna Taylor. Let's see. Trump police, Trump virus, Trump tone. Yeah, exactly. Trump using pyramids, military paid by taxpayers to get elected. That is exactly what's happening. Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. Okay, so I had the S in the wrong part. Just like they gas up Liz and Bernie for shit they say with no receipts. Heather Presser about Operation Legend. This is going to add resurgence of brutality in Chicago. Is that okay, so is that about Trump trying to send troops to Chicago? Chicago got a lot of stuff going on. I from what I've seen from Mayor Lightfoot, I think that she's doing a good job, but it's impossible to solve every problem, right? I mean, I lived in Chicago for several years, and I lived on the south side of Chicago. And every day I read like how many shootings there were, what were the circumstances of each shooting, because I wanted to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what's happening in my area? There was times where I marched in the Bud Bulletin parade and there were people shooting, right in the same general vicinity as the Bud Billiken parade. And so, obviously Lori Lightfoot is not going to be able to solve the gun violence problem in Chicago right away. So she has that to deal with. I read, and I didn't get into the details, to be honest with you. There was a quote unquote mass shooting in Chicago. They don't really call it a mass shooting when it involves black people, but that's what it is. The police are out of fucking control in Chicago, and then she has to deal with these Trump troops coming. It's just too much. It's just too much. You know, it's a hard job being a black woman leader. I talked just very briefly about Mayor London Breed as well in San Francisco. Keisha Lance Bottoms. I mean, there are many, many. I don't want to get into naming because there are many of them that really have a tall task on their hands, and they get it from all ends. They get it from black people who are who just think, well, magic wand, this should all be fixed by now. And then they get it from the white folks who are also upset about something. So it's, you know, I applaud anybody, to be honest. Not anybody. I applaud people that are good that go into public service because it's a thankless fucking job. I don't even want to be a supervisor at my job. So I definitely don't want the fucking responsibility of being no goddamn elected official and have people on my ass all day about shit that's not being fixed that I ain't got no goddamn control over. Palestine says, ain't enough rehab in the world to rehab that degenerate, but the press will try. Sure will. All right, I'm going to skip through some of these things. Marvel says Trump needs a black VP. Slide those speaking notes to your black VP. I will get into that. I have comments about that. Hey, Andrew. Trump said he wished Ghislaine Maxwell, the partner of Jump Street, Eckstein, will. Of course he does, because Trump is a fucking sexual predator degenerate. So, yeah, of course he wishes her well. Look, I'm telling y'all, if this damn power go out, then that's the, I'll see y'all in the comments on Kamala's IG. Let's see. Hey, Wenzel, I like that name. Hey, B Dizzle. Hey, and Kim. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but hi to you as well. Let's see. G Davis. L Rob. He can't read and he don't read. Well, he definitely does not read. Andrew, somebody says Andrew Gillum is supposed to, I guess you're saying, stay gone and in the dirt, but white men in the media can always have a second act and give flowers and cheers. Woo, that was the word. Let me repeat that because I botched it a little bit. The 33 says Andrew Gillum is supposed to stay gone and in the dirt, but white men in the media can always have a second act and get flowers and cheers. That's a word. I like Andrew. Since Trump wants to put his nose in local police, why can't he get Breonna Taylor justice? Right. 400 children. Okay, so that was a number from Texas. Trump wants to get black people fighting his goons. This is not going to work since white people are protesting. That's a very good point, Charles. So if Trump sends in these troops, right, to clash with protesters, and if you're thinking, okay, these are going to be black people, then that does provide imagery of what the media love to portray: the uprising, the movement for Black Lives Matter, uprising out of George Floyd's murder, out of Breonna Taylor's murder, Ahmaud Arbery. And they love these images of chaos and of violence and trying to paint what was happening as that being perpetrated by the protesters. For me personally, I was like, well, if people are being violent and they're fucking some shit up, I'm not entirely mad about that, because sometimes, people just don't respond unless some shit's getting fucked up. I'm not saying be violent, but I'm just saying that sometimes that accomplishes things when shit gets burned down. But anyway, yeah, certainly the media will love to cover black people clashing with these military people, and Trump would love to portray it as, these streets are out of control, and then they're going to say, oh, that Joe Biden wants to defund the police and wants to let all these people run havoc. Telling you that's what they're going to try to do, and people got to be smarter than that. B says 85 in a single county under the age of 1, talking about Texas again in the COVID. Oh my God. I'm not even going to repeat that comment, Carl. Trump's testing the waters of authoritarianism. Well, he's been doing that. But what's crazy is, like, not just that Trump is doing it, it's the way that his cabinet is doing this as well. Bill Barr is definitely on the authoritarianism thing, but Chad Wolf, like, he's really, really getting his rocks off, being fucking just rogue agent. I don't even want to call him Rambo, because I like Rambo. Right? Sylvester Stallone was Rambo. I like that new Rambo movie. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let me try to. I'm gonna have to skip some of your comments so I can catch up. I believe those who were protesting in Charlottesville at night were deputized by bars, federal agents. People need to follow them when they leave Portland. Who are the federal officers? They're not U.S. Marshals, not FBI, not military. That's a good question. That's where an investigation needs to happen. They need to get the motherfuckers out of there, but I don't know exactly who the people are. I think I've heard it's ICE, DHS officers. Those are just two of them that I've heard. Custom Borders Protection. That was another one that I've heard. Nick says, did you see the YouGov poll today showing Liz dropping the fourth among black voters? I didn't see that. That doesn't surprise me. Sorry, Washington Post article didn't work. Y'all can write all the editorials and letters, but receipts, not rhetoric, child. Hello. S. Wynn says, what's up with these positive COVID-19 results when people haven't been tested? That has been debunked from what I've read. It started on these chats and it just didn't, it's not believable. The article that I read talks about the process, about how completely improbable it is to get a positive result without getting tested, because they're not even taking your information in most cases until you're actually getting tested. So yeah, that's fake news. Hey Henry, I think that it's being used by Republicans, by these crazy Trumpers, to try to make it seem like COVID-19 is a hoax and that they're inflating the COVID results, when in reality the COVID results are actually vastly understated in this country. All right, let's see. Hey, tall, dark, and lovely. Let me see. Britt says, did you see Warren had a little press conference today about eviction, saying she's releasing the bill, but Kamala's released her Relief Act first. Why can't Warren join Kamala? That's a very good question. I did see that she, was talking about mass, the avalanche of eviction, stuff like that. Elizabeth Warren has been Columbus and Kamala shit for a long time. I've been saying that, and everybody's like, what do you mean? What has she stolen? Da, 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 da. A black woman actually worked on the Relief Act. I don't like when people Columbus black women's work. For all of Elizabeth Warren's rhetoric about amplifying black voices, about, pushing black leadership, about being an ally, she sure do like to be the one that has her face on it. What did I say? If you want to be an ally, step aside. If you want to be an ally, then play a supporting role. Why can't Elizabeth Warren have just signed on to Kamala's Relief Act? If she felt like there was something missing from it, why couldn't she have been an ally and support that and say, you know what, I want to join in with you on this? But that's what the opposite of an ally is. The opposite of an ally is a person who wants to make sure that they get all the credit, they want to get the headlines, and they want everybody to know it's them. Because that's her brand. But you can't do both. You can't be an ally and want your face to be the face all the time, every time. Even when somebody black has come before you and done the same shit that you didn't even support. That's not allyship, Liz. And so that's the kind of stuff, to me, that's a disconnect. That's what I be talking about when I say it's a disconnect. It's a disconnect to me. I don't care about your rhetoric. I want to see what you're doing. Because when you come out with the same shit that Kamala Harris already come out with, that's still, you're not being an ally. You're not demonstrating allyship, Liz. Somebody CC the black woman for Liz, because I don't know what their criteria is for allyship. Can't possibly be actual allyship. Allyship is stepping aside. Chris Evans says, Reese, did you see that Warrenistas are now saying Obama is a Warren Democrat? I saw that stupid shit. Bitch, what? is Obama a Warren Democrat? Now, I know that Obama has been blowing smoke up Elizabeth Warren's ass. He's been very complimentary of her. I don't know why her in particular, because she's very unexceptional, if you ask me. He hasn't been as complimentary to the blacks as he's been towards Elizabeth Warren, but that's his business, and I'll let people take from that what they want to take from that. However, the notion that Obama is a Warren Democrat, didn't Elizabeth Warren spend all her time frying his ass up? Didn't, as soon as he left office and he did a speech, she talked about how that's an evidence of corruption? What? Now he's a Warren Democrat? These motherfuckers is crazy, Chad. This crazy. They dogged his ass out the whole time. And now you're trying to say that the person that you dogged out, the person that you made it seem like he wasn't up to par with your fucking purity test, Miss making $12 million from bankruptcy consulting. He's not up to your purity test. But now all of a sudden he's a Warren Democrat, yeah? That's crazy to me. That's some real bold, crazy, raggedy ass shit. Alright, let me see what else y'all talking about. Okay, I gotta catch up. I'm like 10 minutes behind in the comments. Release of Dem platform was a result of huge work by Keisha Bottoms and Senator Duckworth. I'm sure that's fine. There were at least a dozen or so other people on it as well. Joe Biden is certainly incorporating Kamala's plans into his agenda. For instance, the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, that was Kamala Harris. And her Racial and Ethnic Disparities Task Force, which, by the way, today in the Senate passed her. She was able to get it through as an amendment with bipartisan support, which is pretty fucking amazing. Even Ron Johnson, who I'm definitely not a fan of, a Republican, was very complimentary of Kamala Harris's work and her team. So shout out to her team, because I know that Kamala's Senate team is A1. Kamala didn't get rid of the blacks like Elizabeth Warren did, okay, when she dropped out. Kamala's had her people down with her, and they're very talented. And it's not just black people that's talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's only black people that are talented. She has a very talented staff of all races and all backgrounds. She has 63% diversity 2020. So Kamala's staff does that damn thing, and they work very hard. So shout out to them. Shout out to Kamala Harris for her bipartisan support for her Racial and Ethnic Disparities Task Force. And what's so key about that is that it's not about just collecting data. It's actually about getting resources to the communities that need it. It's about actual tangible solutions. It's about getting the experts involved in the response. That's the key with her Racial and Ethnic Disparities Task Force. So check that out. I retweeted the clip, or go to Senator Kamala Harris's Twitter account so you can watch that. Let's see. Elizabeth says, where are the Second Amendment wackos protecting the white moms of Portland? Where are the Proud Boys? Let's see. Okay. Sean Day says EW will not get the VP position because of those atrocious ass articles. Let's see. All right. Let me see. Hey, Jan. Hey, Rod. Kim. Let's see. Warren is not the problem. It's white governor or Tammy. I agree. Listen, I've always said that Joe Biden is gonna either have a white is right pick, or white is right also could be a non-black woman. I know non-black women are not necessarily white, but I'm just saying, when I say white is right, that's what I mean, a person who's not black. Or he's gonna likely pick Kamala Harris. Susan Rice, I think, gets in there if he's still salty and butthurt about the damn debate, which I don't put it past him. Anyways, let me see. The NAACP and Latino orgs have endorsed Kamala's relief bill. Yeah, she has a lot of support for her relief bill, which is really weird for somebody who's supposedly an ally to have not wanted to go on ahead and sign on to something that got very, very, very widespread support. Jason Overstreet says Joe Biden's policy platform comes from EW. It does not. Let's see. And that's the problem too. They love to give her so much credit. I don't think that Joe Biden likes the idea of somebody acting like, he would be that Elizabeth Warren would be the shadow president. I always talk about it as being a team player, as being a person who's going to enhance, not as a person who's going to take over. Let's see. Andrew says Liz voted GOP for decades. Well, if you believe Liz, she wasn't really that active politically, right? She said she didn't really vote like that. She don't remember who she voted for and all that other kind of shit. Yeah, you ain't got time for that. Tech 10 Chin says, right, Reese, EW didn't read the part of her anti-racist reading list that calls for white folks to decenter themselves and work. It's just common sense, right? Well, maybe not common. Common sense ain't common. All right, let me see. Let me scroll down. Some of Kamala's environmental plans too. Actually, Joe Biden had almost all the candidates had incorporated on the low Kamala's teacher pay plan. Remember when Kamala Harris proposed a federal investment in teacher pay? That was the first time that ever been proposed. But she doesn't get the credit for it. Then she got the credit for it on the day one, and it was called innovative and all kind of stuff. But then people forgot who actually came up with it. And if you go look at other people's pages, all of a sudden, all this shit was in there. Everybody had a federal teacher investment thing in there. All right, so let's see. Did you see the video with Obama and Biden? That was a damn good video. That was really good. Obama still got that swag. He still does have that swag, Jill. He's very compelling to watch. He still has that gravitas. So, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about my other topic. You guys, her child care bill during the primaries was awesome. Yeah, I agree. And she also talked about caretakers, which is something that that Biden talked about. Somebody says, "What does my shirt say?" It's not a special shirt. It says "Jackin' for Beats." It's a promotional shirt from Jack Daniels. Not an endorsement. I ain't got a check from Jack Daniels, so not an endorsement. Just a free shirt. Let's see. Perkins in Louisiana streaming. Oh, okay. Yeah, Adrian Perkins. He launched his campaign for Senate. So it's interesting in Louisiana, they kind of have this jungle election, right? You guys know what that is. So it's basically like everybody's on the ballot, and if nobody gets above 50%, then they do a runoff in December. So I guess that's why he jumped in. There's several black men that are running in that race. I haven't followed it, to be honest with you, until I saw his video, and I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. But I don't have a dog in the fight. I just said it's a nice video, chat. I don't know what any of them are talking about at this point. All right, so let's talk about this comment. And I'm gonna quote what Biden said. Let me see. He said, no sitting president. You know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to go to the whole article and I'm going to read it in context. It's like, oh, what was context? Well, what did he say? I want to know what he said before and after and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. This is an article from. This on the web. Okay, come on. I don't need you to do all that. Biden signaled that he shared the questioner's concern that Trump frequently refers to the pandemic as China virus, saying the way he deals with people based on the color of their skin, their national origin, where they're from is absolutely sickening. No sitting president has ever done this. I'm going to repeat that. Going back. The way he deals with people based on their color of their skin, their national origin, where they're from is absolutely sickening. No sitting president has ever done this. Biden said, never, never, never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic president has done this. We've had racists and they've existed. They've tried to get elected president. He's the first one that has. Fuck is you talking about? What part of any of that was accurate? Some people say, well, maybe he meant like, oh, that he was campaigning and then he hasn't got elected on a campaign. Okay, well, Ronald Welfare Queen Reagan sure the fuck didn't have a campaign that wasn't racist. Somebody says, Britt says, Mel says openly in public, I believe is what he's trying to say. Many were racist behind closed doors. They're racist in public too. Y'all missed all that? I'm trying to figure out where y'all been at. Racism isn't just saying the N-word. Racism isn't just saying, actually, that's probably one of the lower rungs on the scale of racism. Racism is the exercise of authority to oppress. It's the idea that people are superior based on the race and the ability to actually execute that theory in a way that's oppressive and damaging to other people. That's racism. We've always had a white supremacist, white nationalist governance in this country. So what is he talking about? And that's the problem that we have when we talk about racism. Because the bar for what's racist is very high. It's very high and it's very inaccurate. Because there's no fucking way that as much as Donald Trump ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit, fucking racist, as my girl Erica Savage Wilson says, the son of a Klansman. As much as he is all those things, he sure as fuck is not the first racist president. Be clear about that. So to me, that's where a lack of understanding of racism is very troubling to me, especially when we have a racial reckoning, a racial awakening. Damn near every president that we've ever had has been racist. You can probably name fewer presidents that haven't been racist than you can who have been. But again, racism isn't just about rhetoric. It's about exercising that authority. And that's what these motherfuckers have been doing since before we even had presidents in this country. So what is you talking about? I need y'all to understand this. I need y'all to really get this. Don't make excuses for it. Do better. It's completely ahistorical. The mass genocide of tribal nations, Chinese Exclusion Act, slavery? Did we forget about slavery? That happened. Is that not racist? The fuck? Alien and Sedition Acts. I mean, there's so much. So I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck are you talking about? This is what I mean when I talk about cultural competency. You really shouldn't need cultural competency for this. What you really need is just actually a basic understanding of history. Why is it that you can look at history and not call that racist? That's very weird to me. Very weird to me. But I know that a lot of white folks, not everybody, not all, but don't apply that to fly, they don't feel comfortable calling people racist. Even Joe Biden said earlier in the campaign, he didn't feel comfortable calling what's his name, Donald Trump a racist. I know that a lot of white people don't like to call people racist because then that makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes people feel uncomfortable when you call people racist. Just like with saying, the George Washington statue should come down or Christopher Columbus statue should come down. It makes people uncomfortable because they want to have this idea in their head about these people being heroes, even though they're fucking pieces of shit. So I just need Joe Biden to get it the fuck together. But this is exactly why, let me segue into why we need a black woman to be VP. To be clear, not to play cleanup on aisle 6. That's why I didn't put it in my tweet, because I don't want it to seem like I want a black woman to be Joe Biden's maid. The black woman to have to go behind Joe, clean up his statements that are fucking completely wrong. I don't want a black woman for that reason. Okay? But I want a black woman who has a seat at the table, who knows what racism actually is, who understands how all these motherfuckers have been racist, how our institutions are racist, and how they need to be systemically resolved and tackled so that we can solve some shit. That's why I want a black woman to be VP. It's always been about governance. It's always been about trust. Who's gonna have my back? Because when I hear that, to me, you have a very, 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 very poor understanding about what racism is. To think that Donald Trump is the first racist president. That's a very, very bizarre thing if you really believe that shit. Very bizarre thing to believe. And I don't have the confidence in you that when it comes time to actually address systemic racism, that you're going to get it. And it also explains why these people are so up in arms about that damn debate, because you don't like the sound of being reminded about things that are history that actually happened, that are fucked up. Somebody says, Malcolm says, you see how people are upset about Kamala voting no on cutting Pentagon budget. It's always something. I'm sure it's some little burner motherfucker sitting up there talking shit. But guess what? Them same motherfuckers are talking shit about Bernie Sanders 3 days ago. Talking about, well, why is he only picking 10%? It needs to be more than that. That's why you don't pander to these regressives. That's why you don't pander to them, because they're never fucking satisfied. They was dragging Bernie Sanders. Why would Kamala Harris sit up there and vote for an indiscriminate 10% cut to the military? Why would she do that? She has solutions. If you want to say, well, it was supposed to fund other things, well, she has the Relief Act. She has the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. She has a lot of the Save Our Streets Act. You don't have to cut the Pentagon budget to pay for that. It's not going to happen anyway. So be clear about that. But you can actually still pay for those things. And I actually think that it's very bad to set up the juxtaposition that there's a connection, meaning that you can't have both. Because the Republicans ain't getting rid of this military spending jam. We're not going to do that. So I don't want to say it's a fool's errand, but what I can say is that if you're trying to say, well, cut this to pay for that, that's not going to be a persuasive argument with the motherfucking Republicans. So you got to argue with them, boy, we need to have this in addition to it. So, yeah, but them motherfuckers always find something to be mad about Kamala Harris. Did they actually say anything about her Relief Act bill, though? Did they say anything about her racial and ethnic disparities task force amendment going through the Homeland Government Security and Affairs Committee? No? Okay, well, then they can shut the fuck up and stay mad. Trump ain't gonna be the last racist president either. Ain't that the truth? George Washington took the teeth of slaves to make his dentures. So what is Joe talking about? Yes, Joe Biden really said Trump is the first racist president. It's a mess. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Let me wrap this up, because I know y'all want to go watch Sarah Cooper and Kamala Harris soon. Bernie Bros tweeting about it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, Bernie Bros couldn't even get motherfucking Bernie Sanders the nomination. So they can be mad on Twitter. It does not matter. Honestly, I think it's actually when Republicans are already framing Democrats as defunding the police, they're already going to make it seem like this country will be less safe under Democratic control. I don't think it's a great idea to sit up there and just push indiscriminate cuts to the military, because that gives them another opening to be like, oh, defund the police, defund the military. That's what I've seen all day today from Republicans. They want to defund the police and defund the military. That's not going to go over that well. But at the end of the day, do I think that the defense budget is bloated? Yeah. But go outline places that can be cut. Hello? All right. Anything else? Anything else? People love rhetoric over action. That amendment would do nothing. Comma solution oriented. Exactly. That's exactly right. You know, they love the appearance of trying. Like I said, don't just tell me what you gonna do, what you finna do, what you said you was gonna do. What have you actually done? What have you actually gotten accomplished? And it's very notable. Again, going back to the clip I shared today. Most people don't watch to the end of the clip. Okay, I already know that, so I'm gonna repeat what it says. Matter of fact, let me pull it up right quick before I hop off, because this is really the key in terms of it's the key. And number one, a lot of times people say, well, why, introduce it if you know it's not going to pass? A lot of Kamala stuff passes. She introduces it as a bill, but then she goes on ahead and she gets it in as an amendment, so that it has a better chance of passing, because that at least that bill that she's putting an amendment under is going to get a vote, where Mitch McConnell don't give a damn about voting on no other shit. But let me go on ahead and I'm going to play this clip. Okay, I guess I must have shared it a little bit earlier. It's from Senator Kamala Harris's page. And this is what Ron Johnson had to say after her remarks. Make sure that my audio is on. Okay.
The United States now exceeds 3.9 million COVID-19 cases and 142,000 deaths. We know that Black and Latinx individuals are 3 times more likely to contract the virus and twice as likely to die from it. It is kits, vaccines, some historical wrongs, and I'm grateful this is a step toward righting some historical wrongs, and I'm grateful we were able to work together on this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Senator Harris. And I realize that you didn't get as much in this as you wanted, but this is a prime example of continuing to work and figure out where there are areas of agreement right up to the last minute, because this was just written in.
Yes. And our staffs were working until at least 1 this morning, and then again later today.
I think probably till about 10:16.
Yes. Thanks.
But anyway, thank you for that amendment. I will definitely support it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Okay. So, again, what's the bigger news today, y'all? Here's a pop quiz. What's more impactful today? A racial and ethnic disparities task force to actually tackle the motherfucking coronavirus pandemic that has a disproportionate impact on Black communities, Latinx communities, naval and tribal communities. Getting that through the Homeland Government Insecurity. I always say Homeland Government Insecurities, whatever. You get the Homeland Committee, and getting bipartisan support on that so that it actually gets done. Is that a bigger deal? Is that more impactful? Or a vote on some shit that wasn't gonna pass anyway? That's just, where the fuck are people's priorities? So if you see any of these motherfuckers today sitting up there complaining about some amendment that was dead on arrival and want to cherry pick that, say, well, what are your thoughts on this, which is actually relevant to what the fuck is going on in the real world? Do you care about Black and brown people being ravaged by coronavirus? Yes, it was bipartisan. Ron Johnson is the Republican chair of the Homeland Government Securities Committee, and she got him to support a racial and ethnic disparities task force. She got a white male Republican, to care and sign on to a racial and ethnic disparities task force. It's called receipts, not rhetoric. I don't give a fuck about what you say you're going to do. What are you actually doing? And how is that going to impact us? That's why Kamala is who I'm going to always ride or die for, because I can always point to the receipts. And when I've asked for them from other people, what they give me is rhetoric. You can't cash a rhetoric check. It's an IOU. I need receipts, not an IOU. Maybe next time. Better luck next time. I ain't got time for that shit. Motherfuckers is dying right now. So what you got for them? What you got for us so that we don't die? Anything? That's what I thought. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it on that. Y'all go ahead. I will see y'all, like I said, in the chat for Sarah's Kamala Sarah IG 6 p.m. Jordana, thank you. Kamala will be on an AKA Serious Matter. I know I got a lot of AKAs on my page. I'm not one, but some of my best friends are AKAs. Some of my favorite people are AKAs. But yeah, she will be along with Lauren Underwood and Congresswoman Alma Adams. The entire AKA delegation from Congress will be on this town hall tomorrow talking about taking our seat at the table. You know, that's what I talk about all the time. We need our seat at the table because some people don't have the facts right, Chad. And so they need us to be like, hold on. Nope, that ain't right. You ain't get it right there. Let's rewind. Let's get it right. And let's move forward. So, anyways, y'all have a good night. Bye.